So what are the other control system components? Usually a control system will consist of sensor for measuring the continuous and discrete variables, then actuators that drive the continuous and discrete process parameters. Then you will have devices that convert analog signals to digital data. Then there will be devices which will convert digital data into analog signals. Then you will be having input and output devices for discrete data, because most of the control systems employ data in the binary format or binary data or discrete data. So these conversions may be necessary, but the actuators may be requiring continuous signals, so you require digital to analog signals. Some sensors may give continuous analog signals, but for further processing discrete digital signals may be needed. So these are the 5 main elements which are required to implement the control. So sensors, they detect the physical variable of interest. So within the sensor you will be having a transducer which will convert physical variable into an alternative form. If you take the example of the thermometer, the mercury itself is not sufficient, but the capillary tube will ensure that the mercury which is heated up will rise in the capillary tube. Thereby we are getting the height, and measuring the height it is possible to measure the temperature. Or if you are using a thermocouple, because of the temperature it is going to generate an EMF. So there we are converting thermal energy into electrical energy. In the earlier case we are converting thermal energy into mechanical expansion of the fluid. So a transducer basically converts one form of energy into another form, and usually this second form will be of electrical nature, because electrical signals are what are predominantly used in most of the control systems. So before using any sensor, it has to be properly calibrated, because whatever the output value it is showing, there should be a known relationship with respect to the input that is given. Otherwise the relationship will not be correct, so the sensor will be giving a wrong output, thereby destroying the ability of the control system to function in an effective manner. So the sensor can measure the variable in analog form or in discrete form. So whatever sensors we are using, they should have high accuracy, high precision, wide operating range, high speed of response, ease of calibration. They should have minimum drift, high reliability, and low cost. High accuracy means the error should be very less. The precision means if we are taking the readings repeatedly, the variation within the experiment should be as low as possible, and we should be able to say with a confidence that whatever value we have achieved is very close to the value that has to be measured. Wide operating range, you should have a significant operating range. The range should be, if the range is very small, then we require several sensors to measure the data. So if the range is very large, then the required accuracy may not be achieved. So the range should be optimal for the given application. High speed of response means the sensor should instantaneously detect the change in the output variable, so that the control functions can be implemented at a faster rate. If, for example, if the temperature of the system has changed then how quickly it is reflected in the thermometer. That will be the speed of response. Between a conventional mercury thermometer and a system which uses a thermocouple, a mercury thermometer will require more time because the mercury has to get heated up. It has to rise up in the capillary tube and then it has to stabilize. So mercury requires a lot of energy for all these activities. Whereas a thermocouple, because of its low mass, it can generate instantaneously the required EMF and it can lead to faster temperature measurements. So speed of response, we can say that thermocouple has got higher speed of response as compared to a mercury thermometer. Ease of calibration. The calibration procedure should be very simple. It should not be highly complicated. Next one is the minimum drift. Drift is the variation in the input variable over a period of time due to a variety of issues, because of repeated use, because of the change in the environmental conditions. So the drift should be as low as possible. High reliability means the sensor should not break down during operation. It should be in the working condition and it should have sufficient capability to withstand some amount of misuse. Low cost. If the cost is high, then the sensors may not find too many users, so sensors may be avoided. So whatever sensors we are procuring or implementing, they should be of reasonable cost. Now actuator is a hardware device that converts a controller command into a change in physical parameter. So these are the devices which are going to implement the process or ensure that the process is happening. So whatever signals that are received from the controller will be of low level. You require some kind of amplifiers to improve the strength of the signal. So the actuators can be electrical, it can be a DC motor, or it can be a solenoid, it can be a hydraulic system, or it can be a pneumatic actuators. All the three actuators are used